All right, so we going up and we coming crashing down in this goddamn video. It's your boy Justin. What's going on? AK kind of random, and it's a very special video. You know, a very exciting video in a series that I'm just making in this game called, Let's Talk About It. And today, I want to talk about GNB. So, Gunbreaker class, what is it? The origins came from Final Fantasy VIII. A guy named Squall, you know what I mean? And then if you want to go the Kingdom Hearts route, Leon, Very, very interesting character with a very interesting weapon that became pretty iconic. If you're an actual fan of the Final Fantasy series, you probably know who I'm talking about. I love Squall. I think they did a great job in this game by putting the gunblade in this game and giving it the proper, respect. And, there's a word I'm thinking of, I can't say it right now, but we'll go respect. and pretty much giving like FF8 like a good shout out in this game. Representation. There we go. So I think Yoshi P did good on that. And in this game, it is a interesting thing. It is a very hybrid tank. You're very DPSy. You're doing some weaving, and I do think everyone should try Gunbreaker. It's a very exciting tank. You go from Dark Knight to Paladin to Warrior. It really doesn't feel like any of those classes. It's like its own breed, and does a lot of damage too. So I guess the pros, very fun to play, very exciting. Some cons, it could have better survivability. You know what I mean? Some people aren't a fan of like the level 100 animations. I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I can only give knowledge for how much I played this game. I played the game a long time. About 2,000 hours. I'm at Shadowbringers. I should be in game, but hey, shit happens. Whatever. You know what I mean? Got distracted. But I think that's a very small, minor detail on the whole grand scheme of things. The class is amazing, and hopefully by the end of the video, and I'm gonna break down every ability, detail by detail, that you kind of give Gunbreaker a shot, and you give tanking a shot too. You know what I mean? Because both of these things are very, very great things to do in this game, and it will expand your knowledge in Final Fantasy 14 if you do get out there and you tank. So without further ado, we're gonna go actually right into the part of the video where I talk about all the abilities and combos. You know what I mean? Straight up. Head to the farm. Side note, doing Twitch is pretty badass. I should have streamed on Twitch a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't. But we're here now. So head down here to the train dummy. Took some fall damage. What the fuck? Why? You saw that? Just got done doing a dungeon roulette. So how that goes. Well, it's over here. Might as well show off my badass mount. Hell yeah. Fly around a little bit. Here we go. So, what I'm going to do, obviously, I'm no professional. I'm just me, There are two people that you can check out that I recommend. Wes Abler and another guy, I believe his name is Megastar. I'm going to put the information probably on the screen. If not on the screen, I'll put in the description. One does like long guides, one does like, short YouTube guides, but most importantly, just find a YouTuber that's right for you. Not everyone understands certain YouTubers. Some YouTubers people don't get behind because they're too complicated. They go too much detail. So just find something that you like. But when it comes to my videos, I'm gonna tell you how I play. I'm going to break it down how I would do it, down to the detail, If that's not your cup of tea, I understand. You can click off the video or whatever you need to do, but that's how I do my videos. So when it comes to this tutorial, I am going to break it down the way I have it set up. And yeah, so first things first, action and traits, all your rolls. So, for your abilities, you have Keen Edge, you have No Mercy, which can actually be combined with, I believe, Sonic Break, kind of prevent that button bloat and New Dawn Trail thing. We have Brutal Shell, we have Camouflage, Demon Slice, and Royal Guard. Okay, let's stop right here. Let's break it down. Keen Edge is a starter combo. You know what I mean? Very, very basic. Nice little GNB slash. No Mercy. No Mercy is very important. It increases your damage by 20%. You usually want to open with No Mercy. Brutal Shell, that's the second part of your combo. You know what I mean? It's in your 3-hit rotation. So your combo action is Keen Edge, so Keen Edge into Brutal Shell. Camouflage is a really good defensive cooldown. Okay, this actually gives you 50% parry rate, reducing damage taken by 10%. I would pop this, in many situations, but we'll get to it. Demon Slice is your AoE. This is your main AoE move for Gunbreaker. Very good, increased immunity. You're going to use this a lot. You're going to spam this a whole lot. And Royal Guard. Royal Guard is your tank stance. Always have this on. Every time. And when you don't turn it on, somebody's going to say some shit probably. You know what I mean? Now, let's get over. So we covered the first 2 lines. Let's get over to these lines right here. And, I'll stop the video around like level 60, well, level 60 skills. I may go into 70, but, most people, I'm trying to help out new people who haven't played GNB before. So I think that'd be a good place to, stop at that, because the class does start at level 60. So, Lightning Shot, this is like your main tool to pull with. Danger Zone is a GCD weave. You're going to be weaving a lot of Danger Zone. And Solid Barrel, this is the last of your, pretty much your hit in your combo, I'm pretty sure, So, Burst Strike is pretty good. It does have an additional effect later on at higher levels, but it definitely puts you in the Raid the Blast phase, which I'll explain, and does some good damage. Nebula, very good. Nebula is one of your main defensive cooldowns. You're going to want to use this in certain situations. Reduces damage by 30%. Very strong for 15 seconds. Very good. And then Demon Slaughter. Combo action. Demon Slice and a Demon Slaughter. That's your AoE combo. Now, Aurora. This move right here is super important. This is like GNB's... I want to say this is like GNB's like survivability factor. You know what I mean? You're going to want to pop Aurora. And you're going to want to pop it, especially when you're in danger. And then Super Bolide is great. This is like your oh shit button. If something goes wrong, you're about to die, you're going to want to pop Super Bolide. Yoshi P did make this better. You know what I mean? But it's definitely something that you keep on your hotbar. It's a good fail safe. And then we're going to Sonic Break. Well, remember No Mercy. No Mercy combines with Sonic Break. Because Sonic Break is also something that you're going to want to do. It's an opener. It's a dot. A dot that you're going to want to set probably immediately. Because you want to get that damage going quick. And then we have Trajectory. This is a gap closer. That's all that is. And then you have your Gnashing Fangs with your Gnashing Fang combo. And it puts you in the ready to rip state. And this is kind of like when GNB gets like its actual moves, its Gunbreaker moves. And that's where the weaving comes in, and it costs 1 cartridge. So, with that being said, I don't want to go too deep because, if you start going a little bit too deep here, it'll be confusing. So we'll stop at Gnashing Fang level 60, you know what I mean, because class is level 60. I will say, these are the combo actions after Gnashing Fang, Savage Claw, Wicked Talon, and we'll just stop right there because it's also Juggler Rip, Domino Tear, and Eye Gouge, but those are higher level. So let's just keep it right here in Gnashing Fang, and then I will talk about Bioshock briefly. That is a damage over time buff. That's a damage over time dot, like for AoE. It's very strong. Most tanks don't have a dot for AoE damage, but GNB does. Extremely, extremely good. So, with all those explained, let me get into how my hotbar is set up. Now, as I explained, we have a lightning shot. This is how I pull, with GNB. And I will be doing like a dungeon to actually show everything off like real time. That's how you're really going to see it. But lightning shot, that's how you pull. This is very similar to Warriors, Tomahawk. That's what you're going to do. And then, now how I start the fight, you're not going to have Sonic Break because level 57, but No Mercy is a great way to start into Sonic Break to put your dot on. And then, you might want to do Blasting Zone. And then you might want to start doing your combo to build cartridges, which is Keen Edge, Brutal Shell, and the Solid Barrel. You notice that I built one cartridge over there. It's blue glowing. From here on, you have your Gnashing Fang combo, which you could do, or you could probably try to do another rotation in your 3-hit to keep building more cartridges. Depends on you. There are openers that people would recommend that are really professional like, but here comes Blasting Zone or Danger Zone's back. You can leave that again if you want. So now let's talk about the actual GNB bread and butter. You have all your cartridges filled up. You have your meter filled up. Now, what is this Gnashing Fang combo? Well, Gnashing Fang goes into Jugular Rip. Now, you see we can do that thing. Now, Savage Claw, Abdominal Tear, Wicked Talon. So you're kind of bouncing back and forth between those combos. So continuation pretty much continues the Gnashing Fang combo. You know what I mean? That's why I put it right here in my hotbar. And Burst Strike is just an OG CD. But it does have Hyper Velocity. That's super high level though, so don't worry about that. When you see Burst Strike at low level, just make sure you hit it. It's a good move to do. So that kind of puts GNB kind of busier in other classes. Continuation is very important. You're going to want to put that on your hotbar. It is level 70, so you might not even get like all these moves to level 70, but you'll still get Gnashing Fang at 60. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the GNB flow. Put continuation at level 70, probably on one of your hotbars. Put Gnashing Fang right next to it, and then it's just gonna bounce back and forth. You know what I mean? Now, as far as your like defensive cooldowns, of course you have Rampart. It's always good. Nebula, which is like your main defensive cooldown. Aurora, extremely important. It heals over time like a regen. You have 2 stacks of it at higher levels, but what you can do is you can actually put Aurora on a teammate. So that's why GNB is kind of a good off tank, because you can put the heal on another tank. Pretty good. Heart of Light and Heart of Conundrum are both like team buffs, pretty much. So I guess I will explain that real quick. These are pretty good right here. So pretty much Heart of Light is very good. Reduces physical damage taken by 5% and magic damage by 10% for self and nearby party members. So GNB has like a group damage prevention at level 64. That's very good. Heart of Stone is more like a single target buff. Pretty much you can put on yourself or your party member, and that will reduce damage by 15%. So then again, GNB is very supportive with these 2 skills right here, especially if Heart of Stone can go on you, but also you can put on your healer, your DPS. You see someone kind of getting hit, use Heart of Stone on your teammate. You know what I mean? So just a review before AoE, you're gonna want to start with No Mercy, weave in Danger Zone or Blasting Zone, Sonic Break if you can. You're gonna start your combo. I like my hotbar set up like this, so the combos are right next to each other. And then once you get Gnashing Fang, you're gonna use it, and you have continuation, level 70, and you're gonna bounce back and forth here. So the main takeaway is to make sure you put continuation next to Gnashing Fang, because as you notice, Gnashing Fang has a bunch of abilities in one button. And you're going to need continuation to bounce back between your Gnashing Fang combo with your GNB moves. So that's like the main giveaway. You know, kind of want to burn out in your brain. Just remember, continuation, Nash and Fang. You know, Burst Strike is OG CD. That means it's, you know, it's kind of there. But it still goes good right here, maybe next to continuation, due to hyper velocity at a higher level. You know what I mean? Now your AoE, I mean, it's pretty basic. Demon Slice in a Demon Slaughter. I mean, and then what you want to do is you want to weave in Bioshock, because Bioshock will give all these bad boys a dot. So, you know, Demon Slice it, Demon Slaughter it. If you want, pop No Mercy too when you're in trash mobs. Bioshock. Honestly, I would always pop any dot. Pop it like after No Mercy. Obviously, you want your dots to have the most damage. That's all something that you want to consider. It's not going to kill you if it doesn't happen. I mean, this is not Savage or Ultimate content. You know, when you're progging through MSQ, it's not that serious. The content's not incredibly difficult, you know? But it's just a good thing to do if you want to optimize your damage. One thing I didn't mention is Bloodfest. Bloodfest will give you back free cartridges. So let's just do our combo real quick, or let's just do Burst Strike, Hyper Velocity. Let's do Faded Circle. Faded Circle is like a like an AoE version of like your meter moves. So there is that too. But Bloodfest, you can pop it. Look at that. I got all my cartridges back already with one move, but it has a 115-second cooldown. So remember, Bloodfest is good to put you right into your ready to rip phases, but it has a long cooldown. So yeah, if you're an AoE dude, honestly, you can do no Mercy, Bioshock, right? Because that has damage over time, into Faded Circle, into Faded Brand. So that loop is incredibly damaging. I mean, so what we just did is, you know, we did our AoE combo, but we used our AoE, you know, cartridge attacks to do even more damage. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much the flow of GNB, is to kind of build up your cartridges and unleash all these devastating attacks. That's how I see it. That's how I played it. You know, when the class first came out, I tanked every dungeon in the game with GNB just to kind of learn and to get a feel for it. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, I will show you the gap closer. It's actually pretty decent. I like that. You know, I will show you Super Bolide. So it'll keep you alive for 8 seconds. Obviously, it ripped half of my health away because, you know, but it's a very good failsafe. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I kind of want to help you guys. I will show a real dungeon here real soon. But we're gonna reset these two right here. What we're gonna do is like just kind of pretend we're tanking, right? And you're running up. So when you run up, of course, you're gonna throw in your tank stance. Always do that, right? Put your tank stance on. You know, you're gonna run up. Obviously, you're gonna do your AoE, right? You're gonna do Demon Slice, you know, if you want. But then I would probably just automatically just pop No Mercy. And if you have Bioshock, bam, you know what I mean? And then Demon Slice, Demon Slaughter, that's your main loop. And then if you have higher level, you can use Faded Circle and a Fatal Brand. It's a good loop. And then of course, if you want, you can throw in Arm's Length. And then when the mob starts, Rampart, Reprisal is also very good. That prevents damage too. So don't sleep on Reprisal, your roll action. And then if shit is just kind of going bad, I mean, or if you just want that extra defense in your cooldowns, you can just pop Great Nebula and Camouflage. So you can stack them all, or you can kind of spread them out. Personally, depending on the situation, you're going to want to spread it out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't waste all your cooldowns. I would try to, like, you know, save it for a tank buster, save it for something that's going to be crazy. You know what I mean? Because if you burn all your resources at the tank, and then big attack comes that you can't avoid, or a tank buster, and you die, and it's kind of your fault because the healer couldn't heal you because you had no cooldowns on yourself. You know what I mean? So that is the GNB flow. It's a very, very fun, fast-paced class. You know, I love it. You know, if I'm gonna tank, it's definitely like one of my first go-tos. If I just want to have like a DPS feel, you know what I mean? And yeah, so that's pretty much the basics of GNB. You know, that's what you're trying to achieve. So with that, I'm gonna put all that in practice right now, and I'm gonna do a high-level dungeon. Perfect. We're in need. We're gonna queue in. And we're already fucking queued in. You know? By the way, we are live on Twitch right now, but also this will be on YouTube on demand. Everything goes to demand, you know? Alright. Oh, we got this dungeon. This dungeon's pretty chill. All right, so let's run it. Right. First thing I'm gonna do is probably say hi to my teammates, and then I'm gonna use my tank stance, royal guard, and we're gonna do this. I'm gonna try to break it down for you. We got a stage. All right, so I'm gonna pull a lightning shot. Let's get it. I'm gonna use demon slice and a demon slaughter. All right, I got my aggro. Right. Let's move. You know what I mean? I got two. My sage is already on my ass, so I already know that he can, you know. So we're pulling the mob here. I feel like I can pull more. There is a soul collector. Now I want you to notice too. I'm pop rampart. I'm pop arms leaf too. Slow him down. Look at the names over there to the left above the chat. If those aren't all red, that means that you don't have the aggro. If it's red, that means you have aggro. So always look at the enemies and make sure that they're all red, you know? See right there? I could have popped No Mercy for that whole time if I wanted to. You know what I mean? So this time, I'm going to pull more. Make sure my team knows I'm pulling more. Yeah, so they're coming slowly. As I'm pulling the enemies, the DPS are still getting hits in, you know? These enemies are not worth it, so we're going to skip that. So you see how they're kind of behind right now? I'm probably going to stop right here because I don't want people to die and not be able to catch up. So right here, pretty good mob. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Nebula at the very start. I don't know why that guy pulled that over here though. Yeah, he pulled way more than he needed to. Yeah, this is a big enough pull right here. This situation, I'm gonna put Aurora on my healer just to be safe. I'm popping No Mercy now for sure. Pop Rampart too. Massive pull. And we lived, you know what I mean? So that's good. A lot of cooldowns were used, you know what I mean? That was really big pull right there, I'm telling you. These two again. We'll come over here. Also, I personally like to tank like to the wall if I can. Pop arms length, I have it back. Dodge AoE. Try to keep the AoEs away from my teammates as much as possible. And the AoEs, hopefully, they point to the wall. You know what I mean? Use Aurora. No Mercy. Gonna weave that in. The burst strike. Where'd he see? I don't know where he came from. Here I'm just doing my basic 1-2-3 combo using Burst Strike on cooldown. Right now, I don't need Rampart at all. I mean, I'm doing fine on health. Gonna go ahead and interrupt that. That one I can't. Now I'll pop Rampart and probably lower his defense. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see how our one Rampart goes. I'll probably cycle in another cooldown right here. Yeah, he's coming slowly too, so. Yep, there's that motherfucker right there. Gonna pull him. Nope, over here. We should be trying to kill this guy first, because then the other guy will die too. Just kill him. Yep, we're done. Sweet. I'll take that. Hell yeah, I'll take that. All right. So far, so good. I mean, it's pretty intense. You know, there's a lot going on with GNB, but I mean, it's incredibly fun. You know, this is low 50 content, so. All right, so we have our aggro. I'm moving. You know what I mean? So DPSs need to keep up if they can. All right, this is a massive pull. I will stop here. I'm gonna pop 2 cooldowns right here, arm's length, and heal myself. I have all aggro. I'll pop no mercy. I'll do a little bit of weaving. Back to my combo. You see everyone's still alive right now. No one's in major danger. I will pop another cooldown toward the end just to be sure. And not only and perfect, we did a giant ass mob. No one died. Healer was fine. That's how you want to do it right there. Perfect. Here we go again. Draw this aggro. Draw this aggro over here. Draw that aggro. I actually want to get the treasure. So as a tank, I'm gonna go ahead and get the treasure for my team. And I'm still fine right here. I have cooldowns already coming back already, so I'm chilling right now. I'm gonna pull him. Cooldowns are back. Massive pull coming up here. You know. As you can see, I have all aggro right now. So right now it's just about survival. I have another cooldown preparing. I'll throw that on here. Just kind of going through the cycle. You know what I mean? Beautiful. See, now I did not want to pull these guys too because that was already kind of big enough. You know, I've been kind of gauging my team, and you know, we did come close during a pull, so I'm not gonna like do a wall-to-wall pull. You know, wall-to-wall means the whole map. But that was pretty much damn near, you know. But as you can see, if done correctly and you manage your cooldown, that everyone's on point, it's doable every time. Because the more enemies you pull, the more damage you do for your DPSs, the bigger the mob. Now, we have a boss right here. This boss is just, it has mechanics, you know. Not too tricky, but you gotta be careful. See that black smoke right there? Make sure you dodge that black smoke. Every time. We've in danger zone. I see a burst strike. I'm gonna weave it in. I'm gonna follow my 1-2-3 combo. I'll go ahead and pop Rampart mixed with Reprisal to lower his attack power. He's getting closer, so we gotta be careful here. Dodge that shit. I'm gonna weave in Burst Strike. Right now my health is fine, so I don't need a cooldown. He's dead. Yeah, I mean, I could have popped Nebula. I mean, but I didn't need that. I didn't need Nebula. I didn't need Aurora. You know, if you don't need the cooldown, just save it for the next trash mob. You know, I mean, if the health is doing fine, you know, no one's dying, you can just save your cooldown. You know. You put a shield on me, so that is Sage. Sage is pretty good. I don't know if they want to sprint. Usually when a tank sprints, the healer sprints, it's always good to stick near the tank no matter what. If he sprints, you sprint. You know what I mean? So I'm going to pull big here. I'm actually going to zoom out my camera though, a little bit, so I can see more top-down ARPG style, just because it's about to get fucking intense here. I'm pulling this mob right here. Make sure I got the aggro. I do. And pull him too. This is a massive fucking pull. You know, I don't recommend this if you're starting off. But we're gonna pop Nebula. I'm gonna get close to them with right here. Get the AoE going. I'm gonna get another cooldown. I'm gonna stack right there and heal myself up. Pop No Mercy for damage increased. Make sure you die with AoEs on the ground. Stay nifty, you know, during a big pool like this. Do a little bit of weaving in between. You know? I could have interjected that, but, you know, that's kind of hard during that situation. You know? Very nice. We got two more here. Hit him with one Demon Slice. Hit him with one. Just keep moving. You get your next mob. Demon Slice into Demon Slaughter. I don't like where I'm at. Ooh, right there. Oh, I couldn't get that. I'm gonna drag him back to the corner because I don't like it in the open like that. You know what I mean? My goal is to protect my team, so I want those AoEs to come at me and me only. Now, if the DPS give AoEs, that's not my fault. That's the DPS's fault because they're, you know, it's on the ground right there. See, I am dying right now, but that's good. That means that like everything's on me. That's what you want. You know what I mean? You want the heat, you want the damage, you want the smoke. You know what I mean? That's a tank. You do. I didn't pull him. That was a DPS guy that pulled that. And I knew that because look, the machinist got hurt. And look at his aggro. You know? Like he pulled that. So I mean that's not my fault. I mean if you're gonna pull ahead of me then yeah, you're gonna get hit every time. You know what I mean? Straight up. That's how that works. Alright, so we got a boss here. I will probably not do a countdown. We'll go right in. Alright, so boss, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn him. First thing, Gunbreaker, No Mercy, Burst Strike, Weave, baby, weave. Alright, and I'm going to start my rotation combo. Bam. I got a cartridge. Right now, I'm too low level to do my Gnashing Fang combo with continuation, so that's fine. But we'll build up another cartridge. Now we'll just spam 2 Burst Strikes with our cartridges. We'll throw on a Rampart. We'll lower his defense. Right now that's fine. That DPS is struggling over there. Do a little bit of weaving. Weave. some reason I'm actually sick right now. Like I can't move. You see on my screen, I have a bad stats effect on me. I'll pop Nebula, because why not? And this one too. I can't move because I have stats effect on me. So that kind of hurt. There we go. Now I'm good. I got no mercy back. Weave. He's dead. And honestly, GG's. I think one of the DPSs honestly probably should have popped a limit break. I mean, as far as the limit break goes, you can do it anytime, but like just do it. Like it's better to do it early than not do it at all. You know what I mean? Just do it, because right there the whole match went. It could have been dead like 5 minutes ago with limit break. You know what I mean? I want that. I want that too. I got a player accommodation. That's cool. You know what I mean? I think that went pretty well. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much how I would do a dungeon with Gunbreaker. You know, I hope you guys took some things away from this video. So like maybe you'll try GNB. Excuse me, you'll try GNB. Then again, just some key points here. Remember, this is a very, very like high-paced tank. It's a very DPS-y tank. You know what I mean? You still follow a traditional 1-2-3 combo in Keen Edge, Brutal Shell, and Solid Barrel. That is your bread and butter, and your bread and butter will always be Lightning Shot the pool. You know, but just remember, all with the continuation of level 70. And I wish I could show you how it looks without continuation, but I can't because I'm already level 98. But just remember to always put continuation next to Gnashing Fang, and put Fatal Circle next to continuation. You want all of your cartridge moves with continuation. I have it on L2 button. It works that way for me. You know, and keep No Mercy in your back pocket. As you can see, in the heat of the battle, it's kind of easy to forget No Mercy, but you really want to use No Mercy like every time if you can at start, you know? But before you attack, before you do anything, you want to No Mercy like instantly, you know? Because right now, look, it's still up. It's still up. 8 seconds left. And then even back to your 1-2-3 regular combo, that's still No Mercy of being affected by it. You know what I mean? So that's it. 1-2-3 combo. Build your cartridges. You got your AoEs, Demon Slice, and the Demon Slaughter. You know, at higher level, you'll get Fatal Circle. That is a much powerful, a more epic AoE, more powerful. So do that. And then Weave. Weave. When it comes to Blasting Zone, weave. This move is a weave. Danger Zone turns into Blasting Zone. It's the same shit. Level 80, level 18. That is your main weave. Also, Burst Strike. Weave. You're gonna weave Burst Strike a lot. You know what I mean? You're gonna weave that bitch a lot. So, and as far as your cooldowns go, as you guys saw, just do it as you see fit. You know what I mean? If you think that like things are crazy, it's a big trash mob. Don't be afraid to do Rampart. Wait till that Rampart goes to 15 seconds, maybe, I don't know, 15, 14, and then go ahead and pop Nebula. You know what I mean? So you're stacking up. You know, so yeah, you use those two, but it's a big ass mob. You know, always use Arm's Length. Always use that around enemies if you can. You know, and don't sleep on this skill. It's so good. Reprisal, bro, reduces damage dealt by nearby aims by 10%. Reprisal is good in every situation. Always pop Reprisal. It's so good. You know what I mean? Of course, Interject. Always, you know, Low Blow if you can pull it off. Provoke. I don't use Provoke because, I mean, honestly, I have Lightning Shot. But that's just me. I play differently. That's just what I do, you know? And yeah, that is my best explanation of Gunbreaker. We talked about it, we played it, we did it, you know. I guess I want to know your thoughts on it. Would you play it after seeing all that? Do you think it's for you? I recommend everybody play every class. That's just what I recommend, you know, and try everything. But without further ado, that's gonna conclude the video, man. And I hope that y'all really do try Gunbreaker, man. Like I said, unlocks at level 60. It's a great ass tank. I mean, if you're a tank, you're gonna be hitting all these fucking bonuses, man, because we always need tanks, you know what I mean? And GNB is the closest you're going to get to a DPS tank. Gotta try it. I highly recommend it. Without further ado, it's been your boy. I'm out. Peace.